Hey, I am so sorry about that. We found a rat in the taco shells and then someone at the drive-thru flicked a cigarette in the manager's eyes, so it's been a whole... Anyway, there's your Baja Blast.
I don't see what any of that has to do with you getting me a Baja Blast.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't care.
Minimum wage jobs! Do you want to see the worst parts of humanity? Minimum wage jobs! You want to stand in a corner while you get fries thrown at you while you try to wash dishes? Minimum wage jobs! Think of the most boring, repetitive, unstimulating task you can possibly think of. It's a minimum wage job. Beheading chickens. Straight up. Hacking their little heads off. Dino nuggies, those don't grow on trees. That stegosaurus that you just dipped in ketchup, that used to be a chicken. And it's been ground up because someone chopped its head off. And that someone could be you! Minimum wage job! I think any trust fundless mortal that has to work for a living can all agree that the worst jobs ever, I mean like real bottom of the barrel, I mean besides like prison security guard and crime scene cleanup crew, has gotta be fast food jobs. Now my fast food job was my first job when I was 16 at Taco Bell. And the tomfoolery at that job started on day one. I was getting shown around the place for the first time, and during the tour, I see a now coworker of mine that has obviously seen some shit. You could just tell by the look on her face that she's had far more bad experiences in life than good ones. My manager and I are walking through the dining area, and there happens to be a little baby sitting at a table and crying loudly. Sad girl enters stage right and sees this, looks me dead in the eye, and says, "Should've left that little fucker at home." Oh. And that was our first ever exchange, ever. I worked with her for like a year and some change, and I tell you, man, she was full of that stuff. If I said the things she said and thought the way she thought, I too would look like I was incredibly upset all the time. Now, I don't know if they still do this, but when I worked there, at the bottom of the receipt, they had a survey, and if you filled it out, then you had the chance to win an iPad 3. Ooh. Ooh. And a hefty majority of customers cared about this about as much as you would imagine. Oh, yeah, I'll get that. So still during my first day, the store manager, who I will call Terry, walks in, and he saw me as someone that was fresh and uninitiated. Someone that would blindly follow his every demand. He knew that I would be his vessel to fetch him the surveys. All right, Mike, today I want you to be Mr. Taco. What? We need these surveys filled out, and to get people to do it, I need you to butt into the middle of people eating and ask them to. What if I clean the bathroom? Well, using only my tongue. That's how little I want to do your thing. Imagine you're trying to eat your Crunchwrap Supreme and some teenager with Bieber hair comes up to you and asks you to do a damn survey. Hey there, do you... would you like to win an iPad 3? Ah! So Terry, who has no shame at all, I almost respect it, decides to show me his bulletproof way of how to get more surveys done. We see this table of teenagers that are a little bit younger than myself at the time, and he walks up to them and just gives it all he's got. Well, hey there, guys. How's everything going over here? Good, I guess. Great. Anyone need a refill? You look like you were a little low. What were you drinking? Yeah, sure. Baja Blast. Baja Blast, you got it. Shooting me a smirk like he's cracked the code of how to get more surveys done. Thanks. No problem. Have we provided you with exceptional service today? Terry was just the quintessential obnoxious manager. The dude had super high expectations, which is something you should never have for a fast food restaurant. There was one morning where he rallied us all together for a meeting, and it was some long-winded thing about how we need to raise X amount of dollars by X date, and you know what he promised us if we got it? Oh yeah, that's right. A pizza party. The good old reliable, thanks for making us a couple $1,000s more than normal pizza party. So insulting. And I still vividly remember him saying at the very end, and you know what? I don't think you can do it. Yeah, neither do we. Because we're not gonna try. Because we make $7.25 an hour. It's not enough to care. If the federal minimum wage had a slogan, that would be it.
$7.25 an hour. It's not enough to care.
To this day, I have no idea if we even met that sales goal. First time I ever did illegal drugs.
was at Taco Bell. Whoa, local Taco Bell employee gets stoned before working. Someone call the news station. Well, actually, I didn't try that one until many years later. This actually came about because at the time, I was studying for the SAT and it was giving me a really hard time. So a friend of mine recommended I try a little thing called Vyvanse, which, if you're unfamiliar, is basically a different brand of Adderall. So I bought a few off another friend and I was like, okay, tomorrow I have a modest 3-hour shift. I'll take them before, let it kick in while I'm at work, and then study like crazy when I get home. So I'm at work, making tacos. 20 minutes goes by. 40 minutes goes by. An hour goes by. And all of a sudden, making these tacos is really interesting. Yeah, look at that. Put the meat in, then the lettuce and the cheese, and then you wrap it up. Wow, just like that. Just wrap it up almost in one swift motion, and then it's out of here. Look at that. Someone's gonna eat that. Someone's gonna put that in their mouth and enjoy that taco, and it's because of me. I put that taco together. That's crazy. And what's this? I got all this energy. Wow, I am really moving here. Woo-hoo-hoo! Yeah, we're making tacos, baby. Yeah, let's go. Meat, lettuce, cheese, deluxe taco, meat, sour cream, lettuce, cheese, tomatoes, crumb chop supreme, meat, smear it with the shell. Yeah, smear it real good with the shell. What's in this? It comes from Mexican culture, and the Mexicans have been around since like, what, 500 AD or something? Well, before we had this hard shell, it must have started out as a regular tortilla, and I would imagine that an early tortilla is only like, what, 2 or 3 ingredients? Yeah, maybe it's just corn and flour, but these days a lot of restaurants will ask you if you want flour or corn tortillas, so it must be something else. Unless it's just different ratios of both in each, unless there's a third ingredient that separates them, and flour and corn are used in each one on their own, which make more sense because it's not like Mexicans are limited to just those 2 ingredients, but what would that third one be that ties it all together? I just don't know enough about Mexican culinary history to really have an answer for that.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
You good?
Great, fantastic, never better. How are you doing on this fine Wednesday at 3:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time?
Not bad.
Awesome, I'm really glad to hear that. You're doing a great job. I'm pretty sure everyone caught on. I mean, some people I just straight up told, like there was this guy, Brett, who I don't think was sober out of any of the times I ever saw the guy. At one point, I just tell him, dude, I can't remember the last time I was this excited about something. Welcome to the world of drugs. Don't do this, by the way. Small disclaimer. They're actually really addicting. They're like a molecule away from meth. Don't. This is just a story. There were 2 days when I took Vyvanse and then worked a shift at Taco Bell. And the second day, who would walk through the door but Terry? And he walked right up to me and he said, you know, you've been making tacos for a long time, but not as long as you've been watching this video. So you should hit like. You should hit the like button. Drop that taco, hit the like button. And I think Terry had a point. No, I'm just kidding. So I was high, he walks in, and I'm like, hey Terry, how's it going, man? Good. Hey, why is this order out? Put this order out, it's good to go, come on! And I was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. And luckily, he didn't hang around me for very long, but I could hear him going around the entire back of the store, just screaming at people, why is this dirty? Make her clean this up! Tuck your shirt in! Why isn't this done yet? He was pissy-wissy, and he wanted to make sure everyone in the whole store knew. Fucker. Now, when Terry snapped at me, I, of course, was just on a whole other plane of existence. But I'm pretty convinced if I was Soapski, I would have just snapped myself and just been, I said, fuck you, Terry. I would throw my hat at him, and then I would have taken the burrito I was making and spit it out at him, and then I would have taken right this, and I would give him a headlock, choke him out. I would. Sorry. Anyway, one time, I actually feared for my safety a little bit when I was around a customer. It was New Year's Eve, and the store was closing at 10 o'clock that night instead of like 3 a.m. or whatever. And one manager I actually really liked, I'll call him Ricardo, didn't want to be there any more than anyone else wanted to be there. So at like 9:48, he says, all right guys, that's a wrap. We're closing. Let's clean up and get the hell out of here. And one of my closing duties was to take out the trash. So I take out the trash, and as I'm coming back, I'm walking through the parking lot, and a car pulls up and parks. And the guy gets out, and I say, hey, I'm sorry, man, we're closed for the evening. And this dude goes, it's not 10 o'clock yet. Yeah, well, we're closed. Sorry, dude. So I start walking away. My coworker comes out and he says, what's going on? He's pissed off because we're closed. Hey, the fuck you just say? I I said you were upset because... Yeah, well, you don't have to be a fucking asshole about it. Swear to God, he said that, his actual words. Sir, there's no need to curse. Well, he's being an asshole. Sir, you need to leave. So that was great for insecure 16-year-old me. You know what, let me just say this. If you're that guy, if you're out there, I forgive you. I'm praying for you. I hope you're doing okay. Anyway, this video was supposed to be like about a bunch of different jobs I've had, and I've had a lot of different jobs, and I got a lot of different stories. So if you like this, comment below for part 2. Bye! Big ol' shout out to Lauren. She was such a trooper through all of this. She let us turn the kitchen into a big studio. Well, little studio. It was very hard. Okay, bye.